folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the beautiful landscape of Scotland. Today we're actually in a little highland village, I believe, of Alford, and we're here to visit the Grampian Transport Museum. Today we're actually joined by friends and family on this adventure, featuring AKR, as you may have seen on some other adventures, folks. And yeah, today we're going into the Grampian Transport Museum, so let's get into action. Check it out, folks, we've not actually gone into the museum yet. We're out the front and look, we've already got some cool trucks and machines. And look, this was actually, the tractor was designed by Matt LeBlanc, featuring 500 horsepower Chevy engine. It's actually the Guinness World Record for the fastest tractor, reaching 87.2 mile per hour, folks. Just look at it, what a unit. Twin exhausts. And look at the driver's position, it's pretty wild. Pretty raw. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the museum, folks. Look at this, folks, this is an old steam powered milk cart. It's actually the engine of an old Thames steamboat. Oh, was it for the post? I was thinking it was for the milk. Wow. And look at this, we've got some cool old cars at this side. What a mad mixture of stuff in this museum, folks. Look at this, folks, an 1817 carriage. The nobility and high-ranking officers adopted the travelling chariot. And look at this one. 1859. I love seeing the old carriages. Oh, 1847 it says. Look at this, folks. A 1799 flintlock pistol. Yeah, with this video I'm basically going around just recording things when we see them. If it's any, like, there's some amazing cars and old vehicles of transport in this place. So in the 18th century, folks, look, the person was actually carried in one of these. It's called a sedan chair. You literally sat inside there, and then it was carried with these big handles. And it's mad to think how the world's changed. Just think, that's built in the 1700s. They were kicking about, getting carried around in a thing like that.
I think you think it'd be quite posh.
Aye, to have one of those.
To be carried about.
It's the same as these carriages. It was often the rich and people that could afford it that got trailed around in a thing like that. Check it out, folks, this dark corner here is actually the old blacksmith's corner, and look at the old lamp and the old fire and the anvil. Here's some of the ways they would have actually built the carriage wheels as well, out of the wood back in the day. Through there as well I can actually see some of the Top Gear. There's the Hilux, which is a famous, world famous Hilux. Top Gear tried to destroy it, and no matter what they did, it would still drive and operate. And we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. There's an amazing selection of motorbikes in this place as well, folks. Wow, Norton as well, that's a cool one. BMWs. Yeah, I'm kind of going around here in no particular order. This is actually Guy Martin's Saab. Then look at that thing there, it's called a Gravity Racer. Oh look, it's got the damaged front wheel. It's been in a crash. American Dreams, it says here. Shout out all the American viewers. This is some Chevrolets. Look at this bike. The Royal Mail. I remember when this is the sort of vans they used to fly about with. This is actually an electric vehicle, which would have been before its time. 1995. And then also when we were little, the postie used to come up Glenilea with Land Rovers like that. Or maybe the more modern one, like this one here. That's the old postie's Land Rover. Sometimes the weather in the glens in Scotland was so bad in the winter, they needed stuff like that. Look at this as well, we're literally underneath a car at the moment. Look at it there. Morris 1000. Look at this is super cool. BMC officially announced their new small car on the 26th of August 1959. Both the Austin 7 and the Morris Mini Minor, both were known as the Mini by 1962, folks. AKR shouting me over here, check this out. Oh, I like, you press the button and you can see the engine turning. Even the prop shaft's turning to the back end. So it must be in gear. This is a 2001 Eddie Irvine F1 car. That's cool to see that as well. Imagine flying about anything like that. Look at the aero on that front wing.
Oh, that's the engine. Vector some light.
Wow, that's so cool, eh? I love those little wings on the side and stuff.
There's so much room.
That must have been the driver's outfit.
Your arms would literally just be...
Yeah. And look at this thing here, a Daimler. Look at this here as well, a fully wooden car, folks. Check it out, look at the wood grain on this thing. Imagine that, eh? A Daimler shooting brake. The construction, the woodwork back at that time was just phenomenal. It's an old Reliant. The first ones was like that with the front end of a motorbike. Then the later ones was made famous on Only Fools and Horses. And that's what this is here. That's a replica, I believe. Yeah, look at this thing as well, folks. Imagine anything like that. Look at the sidecar. It's been fully modified like a hot rod. This is set up like a historic blacksmith shop or an old mechanic's garage. All the old car parts and stuff that's set up here. The old car wheels. Here's the legendary Top Gear car right here, the Hilux. Look at the state of it. I'm sure this has even been in the North Sea and it still didn't die. Dropped from a helicopter, such like things. There you go, folks. You can pause the video at the right moment to read some of that stuff. This was built by Jeremy Clarkson, called a Rambulance, folks. And that folds down at the front so you can actually ram people with it. And these are all the Top Gear cars. This is the electric one. As you can see here on the picture. And then you can remember his head used to stick out that hole. And look, this is the one when they made the camper van and he slept in the top of it. This Lotus. And then here's the car, the Triumph Herald. James May sailed across the English Channel with it. And then the Nissan, which I'm sure, I think Richard Hammond drove this one, was it? No. Or was this one Richard Hammond's, I think, folks? The damper van. I'm sure this was Richard Hammond's one. Wow, folks, what a cool thing to see. Look, there's inside it. It's cool that the Top Gear cars are on display here. Look at this, a 19th century horse-drawn tram. Wow, think of the days when that was going up and down the high street. Imagine the noise of the bell ringing, ding ding, before it set off. And look at this one as well. So this one here was actually the Cruden Bay Hotel tram. Just look at the condition of it, it's so beautiful. I think you can actually go up and have a proper look at it. Now look at this. 1931 Fowler steam engine. Aberdeen City Council. And at this side we've also got when Top Gear made the train, they made a car into a train. This is actually the vehicle from that, the Jaguar. And then they made this trailer. Yeah, I had forgotten about all these episodes of Top Gear. It's so cool to see the vehicles and remember them. Look at this thing as well. It's a steam powered truck. Look at that, folks. Imagine the heat, you're sitting on that wooden bench driving the thing. The temperature coming off that boiler must be unreal. Wow, this steam engine's so cool. Look at this, folks, we've got a beautiful traction engine here. It's called Coco the North. I love to see it when all the brass and stuff's polished up. It's all clean to the highest order. We've also got this massive snowplow here behind us, which is a Mack, big American truck. And it was actually used for clearing of the snow over the Cairn Mount. And the Cairn Mount's an area that I've documented before in my videos. So just think, this is the kind of snowplow that they used to have to use to clear it. The V-plough. And I do enjoy seeing it here. That used to be a highlight of this museum when I was little, when I used to come here. Look at this car as well. Renault 4. Ayrton Senna's helmet right there, folks. And look at this, this is a special McLaren collection in here. Wow, so cool to see. Sometimes with those glass displays it reflects the light a bit. We've got Ferrari Formula 1 here. Look at this, folks, this is before bikes actually had pedals. You would flee along on a wooden thing like this. 19th century. 1817 actually it says here. So that gives you an idea, it was early 19th century. Look at all the different variations of bikes. Before anything was standardised, it was kind of just chuck some stuff together and that was your bike. Check it out, folks, an icon of the 1980s, the old Sinclair C5. Which is a funny thing. Back in the day they thought everybody would be fleeing about on a thing like that in the future, but it's not happened yet. Yeah, look at this view here over the museum. Wow. Here's more of the Top Gear vehicles, folks. This is the ones when they made off-road mobility scooters. And they're quite cool. Each one's obviously made differently. And the episode when they were razzing them off-road was so much fun. And at this side, look, more vintage motorbikes. 1923, 1911, 1918. I like this one with a little gear handle in the middle there. But it's maybe actually for the car, but I'm not sure. For the timing. Look at that thing. 1902. This thing here. Check this out, folks. While I get a chance, I'm wanting to document inside this massive snowplow, just to show how it was back in the day. This is the big American truck. Check it out. Wow. Just imagine driving. This is what they were clearing the snow with on the Cairn Mount, folks. There's AKR off ahead. Look, this would have been your view. And back in the days when this was clearing the snow used to be 20 foot high or more in drifts. And it must have been quite a scary thing. You obviously relied on the snow poles so you could actually see where like the edge of the road was back in the day. Yeah, wow, this is so cool. Look at the old dash, the old controls. I just love trucks like this. I would be in my element driving a thing like this for sure, folks. Proper American horsepower and a real truck, 6-wheel drive. And then they needed the big V-plough on the front for cutting through the massive deep snow. Wow, that's amazing. What a scene. We'll go down and take a look at the photograph there. See what they're saying. It's also got the big winches and stuff like that at the back. Yeah, this is super cool. This is my favourite machine, I think, at the whole museum. 1940. The truck started its life as an American military truck, recovery tractor during the Second World War. In the early 1960s it was bought by Aberdeen City Council and made into a snowplough. So that shows how it originally looked. Now look at this here, that's it ploughing the snow. And there's a Mack. So there you go for the American viewers, folks, and Canadian viewers and such like. That's an incredible machine. This is when all machines, folks, were actually constructed out of metal instead of the modern plastic, rubbishy soft metal that you get. Yeah, look at that, it's got the big snow chains as well on the tyres for getting the grip. Look at this, actual models of legendary steam trains. Look at that, the Britannia. Imagine what a magnificent locomotive that must have been back in the day. And then these other ones right here. Wow, that's so cool. Look at this thing. Look at this, A-car has now joined us up on the balcony, folks. Can you remember A-car? Was that Richard Hammond that drove the camper van, eh?
I think so.
James May and then Clarkson in the Nissan, I think, eh?
That's what it said, because I was reading the signs, it did say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's what it did say that.
Because I'm sure it was sinking, wasn't it?
It said a couple of them did sink.
Yeah. It's great fun, folks, to see it, and we often forget all those episodes of Top Gear. This car down here was the train.
I drove on the railway and it's got the trailer on the
Yeah, that's super cool. Well, we'll go down and have a look inside the tram. We never went inside the tram, folks, but that is an option. Yeah, wow, look, there's old chassis over there for like trucks and stuff, vintage trucks. They've got stuff at all levels of this place. I've been around and looked at the steam engines and things.
You can go in the steam lorry as well.
So here it is, folks, we're actually inside the tram, and just take yourself back to the 1800s. This would have been where you came to get taken up the high street to get your shopping. Oh, it's very comfy and luxurious. Imagine the talk and imagine the fashions which may have been inside this. This was actually the Cruden Bay Hotel tram, this one, because it said that on the sign. But think of the folk maybe going on their holidays, getting a hurl in this, excited about where they're away to stay, and excited about the time they're about to have. Just look how well everything's built, the wooden floors, proper coachwork constructions, even the windows and things built proper. Each little bit of wood, the detail and craftsmanship, almost lost from modern construction. Nowadays a lot of stuff like this would be made in a mould, not so unique. And yeah, I think we're going to have a look in the steam lorry. AKR informs me that we can actually have a look at the driver's compartment properly in this steam lorry. A Sentinel steam wagon, folks. Yeah, wow, look at this. 1914 Glasgow. 2001 it was brought up here. It retired in 1966. Yeah, let's climb up and see if we can sit on in here. Wow. Please do not snag clothing on the confined space. Yeah, because there's a lot of things probably on these old vintage engines and things that would be easily broken probably. Yeah, imagine driving down the road in this. Obviously there's the steering wheel at that side, but this would have been the boiler, and I'm guessing you probably had to lift that off there and put sticks and stuff in. And that would have been why there's a compartment here, probably under this seat. You were constantly taking the stuff out, filling it up. Then you've got the pressure gauges and stuff down there. Yeah, wow, look at this. The way it is at the back. It's actually got like benches. Oh, we've got a dog in here, folks, somewhere. Look at this view looking out there towards that big snowplough. I absolutely love that snowplough. It would be so cool to have a truck like that. Apparently it was a World War II American truck, and then it was converted after the war by Aberdeenshire Council. This is a great view though back in the day. Look at the old steering wheel and then look across and you see the other steam engines and things. It's like we've travelled back in time once again on today's video, folks. The way all this stuff was constructed. And it is mad, it's just like a wooden bench seat.
I bet it was hot in the summer. It'd be nice in
Oh,
the
the
winter.
temperature must have been
In the
incredible
winter it would have
from
been
that.
fine.
Oh, aye. Look, they've got a sunroof. Must have been for the summer days. Suppose that would let the smoke out if there was any building up in here. It's mad as well, like the brass exhaust and all the brass parts. Yeah, wow, I like all those old haze tubs as well, like the lemonade lorries.
It would have been lemonade.
They would have been coming around delivering and the folk would be running up the street to get their weekly treat.
Rated water manufacturers.
Oh, aye. I love the old wheels and stuff even. Solid tyres, cast iron wheels. See, we're always into the mechanic side of things rather than just looking at the beautiful paintwork. Oh, look at the way that's built. That's like a differential in there then.
It maybe is. I was going to say, or is that for the piston, the cylinder is?
Well.
Is that the cylinder there? And would
Oh,
the
aye.
con rod be in here?
Oh, aye.
I'm not entirely sure, but
I would like to go right underneath it, but you better know.
I think it maybe is. I think that would be the cylinder.
Check out, folks, we're around the other side of the lorry and look, that thing we looked at the side is actually called a camshaft drive box. And look, you've got different layers. It tells you what's inside, like the cylinders. So that's cool how you can almost layer it as to what's there, like if you take away the body and all the stuff. There is a video, but it's a 10-minute video, so I don't think there's any point in putting it on. But this operated around the Huntly area of Aberdeenshire. Shout out all the viewers from Aberdeenshire. This is the old Aberdeen City Council steamroller. Sometimes in the winter these had to be left running like overnight, 24 hours a day, so in the morning they were ready to go without waiting for a long period to actually like heat them up. And they were all over the land, these things. Down the roads. There was often like traction engines for the farms. Everything was steam powered back in the day. Even the like sawmills and things. Yeah, there's a video of this thing coming over a bridge, look. You see the rake. It does have music playing though, which is the thing on the videos, folks, I had to watch it for. 1918 to 1930. So that'll be the original William Hay that made the Hayes.
I will be the Hayes lemonade.
And Hayes is still a company worldwide, globally, or British anyway for sure. Yeah, look at the water running out the pan at the bottom. So any of the locals from the area of Aberdeenshire, folks, the last job that this steam engine did, steamroller, was actually the old Meldrum bypass. That's what it says here, folks. And look at that, there's the gentleman that originally worked it. In 1931, that photograph was taken in the Strathbogie area when the roller was out working on the Huntly Roads department. That's so cool. I just love that, folks, the character, the steelwork. British industry when it was at its finest. Look at the suspension on this old tramway, folks. Look, this is a horse-drawn tram, but look, the whole body's on these coil springs. It's just resting,
It's
so.
just the wooden seats.
Oh, this is more of the sort of thing you would get maybe in like
in
in the streets of like Aberdeen. Yeah, look at this tee on the roof. It's got the grab rails. Check it out. Look at the detail with the colours and stuff. Like the folk would have stood holding this. Wow, I love this, folks. I've got the torch on because it's quite dark in here. Just think of the crack, eh? Like back in the day. This is a double decker with the spiral stair leading its way up. And it is interesting just to see how everything was built. The woodwork, the metalwork of the old days, the old industrial days of Britain, folks. I've said it already on the videos. And each place has got its like coat of arms and stuff on it, which is missing from the modern world. So this here is actually some more of the Top Gear tractors, folks. When I first came in, I wasn't sure if it was the Guy Martin or the Top Gear. The more modern series of Top Gear, I was never so into it. I liked the ones when it was Clarkson, May and Hammond. But these ones, the Matt LeBlanc ones and such like, I was never so much into it, but apparently this has got an LS engine in it. So that's pretty cool. Then look at this rascal thing here. That is proper cool. High suspension. Look at this down here, folks. We've got some amazing steam engines right here and old trains. So let's take a look at it. Look at this thing here. This would have been a stationary steam engine that would have they put it at like the end of a field or whatever, and they used to actually pull the ploughs like back and forward up and down the fields. But these things were used in a lot of things, for even like powering sawmills and other madnesses like that. They were basically pulled and then left sitting, can away, working away as long as the day would go. And look at this here, this is the Aberdeen Gas Works loco from 1927. And look at the character of this. It literally is like something you would have seen on Thomas the Tank Engine. And this is the reason I wanted to come to this museum, to see cool things like this. I'm often not so into it when you're in and there's like crowds of people, or you're looking at something and there's folk barging in front of you and such like. I like the more peaceful corners of the museums like this with the amazing locomotives. Or like the wee corners that's hardly seen. Some people don't even come round this side of the place. Do not climb on this exhibit, it says, so obviously we'll respect that, but we'll put the camera and have a wee look. Just to see, look at that, the dials and the gauges. Obviously these things were fleeing up and down the lines of Britain at a certain time. This one says Caledonia Works. But I just love all the steelwork with the big rivets. Nothing was really bolted together back at that time. A lot of it was more riveted together. And look at this here, we've got the military Land Rover, which I do enjoy seeing as well. A Land Rover 101. Yeah, wow, amazing. Then look at that thing there. Look at this thing at the front, we've got the Ford car sitting here. Let's take a look at the interior. Wow, the old vinyl seats and stuff like that. I think it's a Cortina, but I was just taking a look. Yeah, Ford Cortina it is, folks. Now look at this funny looking thing. It's a Mitsubishi MIEV. That's a funny looking thing as well. Sometimes the first electric vehicles back in those days were funny looking things, and you can tell for that. It's like a wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow with a seat in it. This here, folks, is the world's smallest car, a P45, as featured on Top Gear. Clarkson was literally sitting inside that. And look at that there, it's actually a hybrid vehicle designed and built by Jeremy Clarkson. It's smaller than the world's smallest car, the P50, so it's called the P45. And if you're British, you can know what a P45 is. See what this sign means, folks, at the cafe. There's actually a cafe here, so anybody that comes with their family, if they follow these signs, they can get a fresh cuppa and a cake. So if any of my viewers are in this area, this is a great museum for you to come to, especially if you're into vehicles and cars.
Beside the street on the television line.
They set fire to this as well, Mike.
Yeah, this has been through the works. We're back next to the Top Gear Hilux.
It was in the sea.
Yeah, was it off the back of an aircraft carrier in the North Sea?
Yeah, they dropped a caravan on it.
Yeah, they destroyed a building with this on top and everything. It wouldn't die.
I watched the boy in.
Check this out, folks. This was actually Billy Connolly's trike here when he did the Route 66 tour of America. So that's cool to see it here at the museum. And what were you saying? This is a two-stroke Saab.
Aye.
This has actually got a two-stroke engine in it, folks, which means it's proper torquey. Really quick. Oh, it's a V4 Saab 96. V4, aye. So that means the 4 cylinders go
764.
Oh, aye.
Two-stroke engine.
So there we are, folks. We're now out the front of the museum. I've actually bought a baseball cap from the Grampian Transport Museum. You'll see that in future videos when I'm on adventures. But yeah, that was an amazing day out with so much to see. With the transport and vehicles from all different time periods in history, all different technology for the motor vehicles. It's been a fun adventure out with the family and friends. You know how it is, these short wee videos, folks. It's definitely worth, if you're in the Alford area of Scotland, it's worth coming in here for a look around. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here today, folks. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with the next one, wherever we end up going.